Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we will be talking about the film The Woman King. Fun fact, Dahomey was located in what is now known as Benin up until roughly 1904. This film came out in 2022 and starred Thusu, Mbedu, Viola Davis, and Lashana Lynch, and was directed by Gina Prince-Bythewood. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. The Woman King tells the story of an all-female warrior unit, the Agoji, led by Naniska, who protected the kingdom of Dahomey. With the threat of colonization looming, the Agoji take a stand against those who would intend to make them slaves. The Woman King is a historical drama. It has similar vibes to Black Panther, Django Unchained, or Roots. The Woman King is a historical drama, but it is also filled with a lot of action and a little bit of comedy. I was shocked at how much action was in this movie, but it was so cool to see these black women fighters. Also, I would encourage you to do your own research and learn about the Dahomey outside of this movie and come to your own conclusions about them. Thusu Mbedu was great as Maui, who was training to be a part of the Agoji. It was interesting to see her be this woman who didn't take crap from anyone and definitely wasn't going to be forced to marry a man that would abuse her. I love seeing her character going through these trials and learning a little bit of discipline, but staying true to herself. It was interesting to see her torn between Malik and her sisters, even though it is hinted that she slept with Malik, she still ends up choosing her sisters. And Mbedu handled the action scenes as well as the dramatic scenes with excellence. I love seeing this character's growth throughout the film and how she never left the people she cared about behind. Viola Davis, of course, delivered an amazing performance as Naniska. She comes off as this general who is really tough and strikes fear in her enemies' hearts, but for the new girls, she's really just looking for them to become the best warriors that they can be. We learn that her past hasn't been an easy one and she's always had to fight. Viola can do action, she can do drama, and with this character, she gets to showcase her range of talents. It was interesting to see the emotional scenes of her finding out that Maui is her daughter, but also seeing that every time she lost one of her sisters, she had to put on a brave face and keep fighting. Lashana Lynch was fantastic in every scene that she was in as a Zuji. I feel like I really connected to her character because she treated Maui as a little sister and always was watching out for her. I love how she even had a unique weapon, which was her hands, because she sharpened her nails and used them as weapons. It was really sad when she died, but I think her death really helped Maui see the ruthlessness that these slave traders have and that getting captured by them is not something that you want to happen. Lashana showed her character could go from cracking jokes to getting serious about how much her past has affected her to plucking out someone's eyeballs. I think Lashana is amazing in this film and killed her role. John Boyega was cool to see in this movie as King Gezo, who really trusted the warriors. It was interesting to see him dealing with running Dahomey but also trying to figure out how to prevent a war from happening. It was interesting to see his relationship with Naniska and how he valued what she had to say more than most people that were on his court. John did a great job playing this king who was very kind but also made sure that his kindness wasn't mistaken for weakness. I feel like the movie showed us how the Agoji were constantly doubted by people because they were women and that usually led to the downfall of their opponent. They constantly proved people wrong and were a lot smarter than some may have thought. This film really showed how colonialism really affected Africa and how some tribes would even work with the white man to try to prevent themselves or their tribe from being sold into slavery. It was interesting to see that they had to face people who looked like them and people who did not. One thing that was for sure is that if you work with the white man, you were never seen as their equals, and they treated you as if you were being saved, which I think is highlighted with the relationship between Santo Fiera and Malik. The action sequences in this movie were great and well coordinated. They showed how the Agoji each had individual skills but also worked exceptionally well together. Not only was the fighting great, but they also knew the terrain better than their enemies and knew how to blend in with their environment. My favorite part of this movie is when we think that the Dahomey are going to give over women to Oba Ade for the slave trade, but when they get there, they let him know that they are not there as a gift and that they deliver him the heads of his crew. I think that this showed how fearless they were by taunting the enemy to their face and making it out without getting killed. It showed how they were not looking to continue this tradition and wanted to make it stop immediately. It also leads to a stressful fight between Naniska and Obaade, which shows that he's pretty good at hand-to-hand combat. Naue ends up helping Naniska, which was the first time that we really get to see her face like a real threat, and it was cool to see them looking out for each other. I love seeing them not accepting threats from him and making it known that they will fight back. The Woman King is a movie filled with great performances and some cool action sequences. The movie had me on the edge of the seat the whole time, and the action and the story really had me wondering what was going to happen and how all of this was going to play out, and in the end I was satisfied. If you haven't seen The Woman King, then I suggest you go and watch. Thank you for watching my video. I would love to hear your thoughts down below in the comments. If you have not subscribed, please do so you can keep up to date with more of my videos. But besides that, everyone stay safe, have fun, and goodbye.